Nice hands, nicely shaped hands, nicely shaped fingers, very powerful in so many different ways. And there's something about he's shy. I would think he's very shy because his first finger to Jupiter. He may be great on the stage, but I think deep down inside he's somewhat shy. He's got a good line of heart, which shows that he's got strong love within him, and he's got a good headline, so he's probably very practical in all the ways that he thinks. But the power in this guy is home and family and the right kind of loving. He's going to find the best in life and find peace of mind about everything when it is connected to a family and marriage and stuff like that with the right person. His thumbs are pretty high set, which means he hasn't had too many lifetimes, so therefore he is kicking the can down the road, learning as he goes on. There's a little bit of stubbornness in his thumbs. He thinks he knows everything, but he really doesn't, but he's learning on the job. And he's also got this heart-shaped hand, which shows that he does have loving tendencies within himself. The passion is strong coming out of Venus here, and the fingertips are very, very long and very, very powerful, which indicate a lot of power coming out of the fingers of self, coming out of the fingers of fate, luck, coming out of the fingers of incarnations of past, and coming out of the finger of Mercury here. Now he's going to have to get some more education about life itself on this earth plane. He thinks he knows it all, he thinks he's one of the boys, and he can do whatever he wants. But he's got a wake-up call coming, and I think it's all got to do with falling in love with somebody very, very. Well, he has a strange hand. The power is in the fingertips here. The first finger shows scattered energy in some way, shape or form, and it could well be nervous in different ways, but he wouldn't show it. His feet are on the ground because it's all about himself. He wants people to see him as he really wants to be seen. Now the finger here coming from Saturn, which is oval, which is round, he could easily be influenced to get into anything that he really wanted to get into. And from past life incarnation, and this kid's lived a lot of past lives, but he's got this block on here, so he doesn't remember most of what was in the past. He may have dreams, he may have experiences and all that kind of thing, especially if he takes drugs, and he should never take drugs. And he comes down here with this block and here, down here, and this finger here of practicality. It's really, really very practical in so many different ways. And the little finger of Mercury is pointed, and that also has to do with being scattered thinking. He's got ideas all the time about what he wants to do, where he's coming from, what it's all about. Good line of heart, so he does show that there's love in his soul. But the headline, that's very, very messy. It goes for a period of time and then it changes. That's what I'm saying. He should be very, very careful about drugs, alcohol, anything like that. And then the lifeline is very coming and going. He doesn't quite know where it's coming from. And there's no energy in his passion. He may think a lot and he may do a lot, but the real passion comes down here in the material, in the metaphysical aspect of it. He could have a spiritual nature. He could be drawn to that later on, maybe not now. But there's a lot of energy loss coming out of that, coming out of the upper Mars, coming through the Neptune into the Pisces, into the bracelets here, that could give him some discomfort in his life. Now the thumb is kind of messy. They're coming out of Venus. The Venus shows that there was a lot of stress in his life, and the thumb now is really connected, bringing him into this form of stubbornness, and he could have a chip on his shoulder, and there could be a lot of stuff coming up in the future that he's going to have to deal with. Well, it's interesting because he starts life with a simian line, and that goes on for about 15, 18 years, and then it changes. So something happened to him to absolutely make him change. It could be love, falling in love, falling out of love, getting hurt in some way, shape or form, because the line of heart goes away on here and the line of head goes down here. And it shows there was a lot of discomfort in his early years. It maybe is could be having to do with how he felt, what he was, if people made fun of him, or if he was in love, as I said, or not love, but it really shows very, very strong here. And the finger of Jupiter, which is his personality, shows that it's got scattered energy, nervous in so many different ways. Yet he is very clever in his thinking, very clever in his thinking. He has a line of Solomon. So, ring of Solomon there, which has to do with wisdom and power and authority and ability to teach. So he would be a good leader in so many ways, in knowing so many different things, and would attract a lot of people. But these fingers here, this hand is the fingers are much longer than this hand, and it shows that there's two personalities here. One side is strong and powerful, and the other one is soft and easy. And it all happened when this line changed over here. So anyway, he's very diplomatic and logical in a lot of ways. He has understanding of life. He has understanding of people. He will attract attention from both men and women because of the way he is, and who he is, and how he is. But it comes from past life. He's lived a very lot of past lives, and he came into this vibration to put them all together, to clean it up, to see what was important, what wasn't important, and use what he really wants to. And he's learning here very, very strongly in so many different ways. Good quality thumb with good logic and flexibility of will, and the power of passion here is strong going into that thumb, which he's going to be doing what he wants to do and showing what he wants to do and saying what he wants to say, and he's going to have a lot of followers in the future, become very